Now, I'm a bit of a Snyder apologist, but even I was a little surprised that Army of the Dead won. I actually liked Army of the Dead a lot, and I actually rated it pretty high. Whereas a lot of Snyder fans seem to have been disappointed by it. But still, it is nice that it was receiving some Oscar attention. And I'm not going to exaggerate, I did put out a few tweets, but I thought, like most people, that Spider Man was going to be the obvious winner, and it was all over. But there you go. So don't doubt the Snyder fandom, they will surprise you. So we're going to have a little fun with Dan Murrell, who did like the Snyder Cut, but is being a little snarky about Snyder winning at the Oscars.
Right before commercial break, almost at the end of the show, it really does feel like the Academy was embarrassed by the results. And again, I'm not saying they should have been, but I think they honestly expected that like Twitter would pick 5 of the Oscar nominees for Best Picture as their favorite movies of the year. Yeah, no, that's not what they got. Instead, the top 3 were Minamata, a Johnny Depp film that only Johnny Depp fans have probably heard of, Amazon's Cinderella, which seemed to be the ironic protest pick, and the number 1 fan favorite, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which I'm sure was only number 1 because Zack Snyder's Justice League was ruled ineligible as a director's cut from a film that was released back in 2017. And listen, it didn't matter what the question was. If it was who's your favorite actor of all time, the winner would have been Zack Snyder. If it was who's your favorite director of all time, it would have been Zack Snyder. If it was favorite movie Horse, the winner would have been Zack Snyder. That's how it goes with these online polls. Obviously, the Academy wanted to tap into Twitter without knowing what Twitter was about at all, which is amplifying the voice of smaller numbers of fans to disproportionately represent the voice of all fans. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that is exactly what these Twitter polls are. As I said, I found these to be probably the most amusing moments of the night. Here was my reaction when the Speed Force was named as the number 1 cheer moment of all time.
Really?
Whoa!
What?
The Snyder Cut.
No.
I love it.
Don't get me wrong, though.
This is a
great.
This is a great moment, but I love that the Snyder Cut folks got that to number 1. That is just mwah. And here's my reaction when Army of the Dead was named the fan favorite movie of the year. Oh my God, Cinderella's number 2. God, just throw us in the fire right now, please.
I mean, I get the joke, and the joke is okay, but yeah, I don't think so. I think the Snyder fandom played by the rules, right? For whatever reason, the Snyder Cut couldn't be nominated, even though a lot of Netflix films are nominated, but they're not technically theatrical films. It is what it is. It's a double standard. And they did play by the rules, and it is fascinating what almost won. So again, as long as these fans made their voices heard, then it is what it is. So I'm not quite clear where it wouldn't be right to call it hatred, but kind of like, those Snyder people, they're just dominating the Twitter and really manipulating things. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I get this a lot, that being a Snyder fan means you're being really annoying, part of a cult and all that stuff. It's like, no, a lot of people are just enthusiastic. Granted, some people take that enthusiasm the wrong way, but overall, I think it's been very positive. And I do think Army of the Dead legitimately could have and should have won, but obviously, really, my vote would go to the Snyder Cut. Still, I don't think there's anything bad about Army of the Dead winning. It was a popular movie. It was a good movie. And yes, probably Spider-Man is more reflective of the population, but again, that fandom did not really mobilize as much of the Snyder fandom, which is kind of interesting because Spider-Man was definitely on Twitter for a long, long time. I do keep up with Twitter, and the amount of tweets on Spider-Man was insane. Positive or negative, people were tweeting about this thing. So I think it was a fair fight. The Snyder fandom and the Spider-Man fandom had at it, and it was just, I don't know, I guess they're just not as agile with Twitter or as other tools to get their message out there. So I think it was worthy I think it was a worthy selection, and they played by the rules. They weren't harassing anybody. But the snark is fine. I get it that some people don't quite get why Snyder is so honored or revered. I mean, I don't love everything he does, but I think overall he's pretty strong. Maybe it's just that it's been delayed reaction because he was being attacked so much just a couple years ago that maybe it's being overcompensated a little bit. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's good. And it's a very healthy thing that the fans have their moment. But, I appreciate Murrell being a little snarky about the whole thing. It's fine. It's fine. If he didn't get into Army of the Dead, it's fine. I understand a lot of people had legitimate issues. Film Gob, who's pretty notorious as a Snyder guy, he didn't like Army of the Dead. So, I don't know. I thought differently. I thought it was pretty decent. I will try to put up a full-blown review soon enough. And there we are with Zack Snyder winning again at the Oscars. Thanks for listening.